So, hey guys, how are you all doing? I truly hope you all are doing really well today. In today's video, I'll try to trade on the Quotex platform specifically based on candle wicks, which is a strategy that I have personally tried several times before, and I have found that it works quite well on the 1 minute time frame. So today as well, I will try to trade based on wicks, and since there is a bit of an updated version in 2026, I am trying it out with that. So here, first of all, I feel that it's very important to find a chart with good movement so that I can properly identify support and resistance, and there should be long wicks. I will look for a specific chart like this one. So first of all, I notice a very long wick right here. So I'm going to draw a clear horizontal line at that spot. After drawing the horizontal line, I have carefully marked the level at the lowest point of the long wick that formed on the downside and exactly where its body started to form. By covering this wick, I have created this specific zone here. Now this area becomes the primary buyer's zone. From here, the market will try to remain bullish. So that is exactly why I have placed two trades in the upward direction here, because there is a very strong and favorable opportunity here since the buyer's zone is remarkably large. So there is a high chance that the market movement here will remain bullish. And yes, if you haven't joined the Telegram group yet, there's a link in the description. Make sure to join the Telegram group from there as you can get a lot of benefits. So the market movement is staying in the upward direction quite nicely, and a strong bullish candle is forming here. So support and resistance do matter, and if you set support and resistance based on wicks, then that can become a very powerful strategy. At least that's what I think, because personally, I mostly use support and resistance, and this is exactly how I do it. I find a long wick, create a zone based on that, and then draw support and resistance there. So here as well, I did it the same way, and finally both of my trades here turned out to be profitable. So both my trades here were wins, and a pretty strong bullish candle has formed here. So in the same way, once again, I will try to find a chart with significant price movement here. And after finding that chart, I will look for long wicks and a solid opportunity, specifically whether a high quality opportunity is forming or not. It is not always strictly necessary that I have to place a trade. I only execute a trade if I see a solid opportunity. Otherwise, I refrain from entering the market. And let me tell you, trading is a risky business. I am not a financial advisor. Before placing any trade, make sure to do your own research. You can easily incur losses here, so trade only after thinking very carefully and with caution. So first of all, I have taken a horizontal line here. I will try to use the horizontal line as support and resistance along with the wicks. So I can call this the wicks plus SNR concept. Here, I have created a zone at the lowest price on the downside, and I think the market movement will remain bullish here because there is a support zone below. So here I have placed a trade in the upward direction, but here the movement of the trade is actually showing in the opposite direction. But this is not really a big deal. It's easy to incur a loss here. Also here I noticed a rectangle based on a long wick, so I am drawing a rectangle here to cover this wick. Because if there is a long wick on the lower side of any candle, it usually indicates a bullish signal. At least that's what I think. If you look at it according to proper price action, this is something that makes sense logically. The market movement should appear bullish, but here the movement is quite different. It could be that due to some chart pattern or candlestick pattern, my support and resistance levels are not working properly here. So for this reason, I will place a double trade on the next candle here. Okay, so finally I have placed a double trade right here because personally, I strongly feel that there should be a very powerful bullish movement starting now, especially since there is a very long wick that has formed in the downward direction of the previous candle body. So that gives a signal that there are a lot of buyers present there. That's why I have placed a trade here for a green candle. And yes, I have mentioned several times that you should avoid trading in the middle of any rectangle because that's where consolidation happens. So you can see that consolidation has happened here. First, a green candle formed, then a red candle in the middle, and now again a green candle has formed. So consolidation does happen in the middle of the rectangle. So these are all very small things that we should pay attention to in the market. And I think the most important thing is support and resistance. If you are consistently drawing your support and resistance levels in a very good and smart way, then you can definitely say it becomes a truly sophisticated and highly effective trading strategy. So finally, both of my trades here have been in profit. So once again, I will try to find a chart with significant price movement. And if I see any good opportunity, I will try to execute a strategic trade there. And if I get a good example to show you, I will also try to show you how it works. So here, nothing is 100%. Everything in this business is truly about trying and about making a consistent effort. First, we must carefully find the right opportunity, and only after that do we actually place any trade here. Otherwise, as you can clearly see, it is not at all possible for every single one of your trades to be in profit continuously. You must be very practical in your trading approach, and please do not think unrealistically that you can somehow become incredibly rich overnight. That is just not possible. So treat this very much like a serious field of study, because just like any other professional study takes a lot of time, this process does too. So here I have placed a trade for an upward direction because the zone I created on the lower side has a long candle, meaning it has a long wick. I have drawn a rectangle to cover that area. So now I will take a horizontal line here. I can use the horizontal line here as a resistance because I have already created a buyer zone that is support on the lower side, and on the upper side I will create a resistance zone which I can also call the seller's zone. So the market movement is quite bullish because there is a strong support level below, and until the market tests its resistance level, it won't bounce back from there. At the very least, it will go up to that point and definitely test it, because where the market is currently moving and where I have based my trade, there is a gap between that and the resistance level. So it is necessary for that gap to be filled. Only after that can there be some movement in the market. It is possible that the market might break its resistance level, in which case the scenario will change, and after bouncing back, it could also come down. So finally, this trade of mine ended up in profit here. I took this trade here solely based on support and resistance. So again, I will try to find a chart with a good movement. This is a really bad error candle, so I avoid such charts. And if there is any sideways chart, I avoid trading in it. Any chart that is, you could say, of a consolidation type. Yes, if there is consolidation, but the market movement is visible in any trend, whether it's in an uptrend or a downtrend, and there is consolidation in between, then we can use the parallel channel to make use of that chart. So I will bring this concept in detail in some other video. The market movement can be predicted quite well using this method, but nothing is 100% certain. There is a significant amount of potential risk in the market right now. So in AUDJPy, I'll try to see exactly how the current market movement is developing here. There isn't much movement at this moment, so I'll switch over to a different chart and take a closer look. There's an error candle formed in this chart as well, so I'll decide to completely avoid this chart and check Orders D here instead. The market movement is quite bullish here. The market is currently moving in a clearly strong uptrend here. At this current moment, I do not see any specific or clear opportunity here to place a trade. Otherwise, looking at this rectangle, I can visualize exactly what might potentially unfold in this area. But even so, I really don't think it would be wise for me to place a trade here right now. So for the time being, I need to remain patient and avoid entering any trades. So guys, that's it for today's video. If you liked the video, please be sure to give it a like. If you're visiting the channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and do leave a lovely comment in the video comment box. So guys, see you in the next video. Until then, thank you.